Hi, I'm Jan Gusich, Senior Strategist and co-owner of AKHIA Communications. We're going to be talking to you today about 3 trends in the United States with regard to the U.S. media. If you're anywhere in the world, I know you're hearing a lot about the U.S. media about fake news. And while there's a lot of fake news out there from unreputable sources, most of the news comes from really good, reputable people like me and you and the organizations that we work for. So while I know it's top of mind, that's not the trend I'm going to be talking about. What I'm going to be talking about is the influencer market in the United States. Influencers are big all over the world, but especially true in the United States. If an influencer endorses your product, there's a good chance it'll be successful. On the other hand, if an influencer says bad things about your product, sales could suffer. So we treat influencer market like a channel, just like media. They're another channel for us. In other words, we communicate with them regularly, we send them our press releases, and we do a lot of custom discussions and custom pitches to get them to talk about our news in a positive light. The way of the market today is people do research online. When they're about to buy a product, especially a big ticket item, they do research and they follow the influencer more than anything. It doesn't matter what a reporter says, it certainly doesn't matter what we say about ourselves and about our products. The most important thing is what the influencer in that space says about your product. So, if I'm talking to you about an important trend, it's to make sure you're understanding the influencer market and you're communicating regularly with them.
Hi, I'm Ben Brugler, CEO and President of AKHIA and part owner as well. And I have 2 trends to share with you as well. So there's 2 things that I want to talk to you about. They're both kind of content related. The first is around smart speakers and content strategy. So you think about Alexa in your home or Google, Alexa, give me a stat. Well, I can definitely give you a stat. So 19% of Americans own a smart speaker and 60% use them daily. My daughters use them a lot and ask them a lot of trivial things, but I hear Alexa's voice quite a bit. And one of the things that we're seeing in terms of content is both from a brand perspective and a messaging perspective is what are you doing to help your brand interact with those smart speakers? Whether it's a news feed or something that you're doing in promotion with your brand, that now is becoming something brands and companies are having to think about. Another stat that really jumped out at me, and I want to make sure I get it right, so I'm going to share it with you, is that the usage of these smart speakers and voice commerce overall, think about Alexa adding something to your grocery list, will grow from 2 billion to 40 billion in the next 4 years. So definitely something brands need to account for because it is a space that people are going to be looking on how they can interact with more. Something that's a little bit more direct and a strategy that maybe had gone away a little bit but is coming back full force is account-based marketing. Specifically, how we're looking at this from a content perspective is the idea that any content you put out there is great to deliver on your brand messaging and your brand strategy, but it might not be consumable for everybody in your audience. So the reality of ABM and how it can link up with a content strategy is actually really a match made in heaven, because we're looking at how we can slice that content and put it in a way that the right people are experiencing and interacting with it at the right time. So think about making sure we're meeting our consumers and our customers where they are. And account-based strategies definitely help to do that. Is it a new strategy? No. Is it a new way of looking at an old strategy? Yes, because this is something sales are very familiar with. They're not spending 80% of their time with 80% of their clients. They're doing it with that 20% that's going to get the biggest impact. So if we're looking at 10, 12, 15 key accounts, we can support sales, we can support the business cycle, we can support the buying cycle with making sure that content strategy is hitting them in the right spot at the right time to get them to do what it is we want them to do, or get them the information that they're looking for at that moment. So it's a great way of looking at how content and specifically marketing can be taking a larger role in driving a business strategy and a sales strategy, which at the end of the day is where communication should be, driving business and getting results. Thanks, I hope you found those helpful. So from AKHIA Communications, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.